Few days back, there was an exciting discovery from the world of Sanskrit. Dr. Rishi Rajpopot from the University of Cambridge said that he had solved 2500-year-old grammar puzzle from Panini's Ashtadhyayi. The sutra in question is 1.4.2 from Panini's Ashtadhyayi, which is from the first book, 4th chapter and 2nd sutra. And that sutra is called Vipratishedhi Paramkarya. So according to Dr. Rajpopot, till today it has been misinterpreted. How? So if there is a conflict between two rules in one step, then till today it was misinterpreted that the rule which is of the highest serial number should be implemented in that step. Now, according to Dr. Rajpopot, he has newly interpreted this, saying that if there is a conflict between two rules in a step, then the rule which applies to the right hand side should be applied. He thinks that after doing this, the puzzle has been solved. So for me, who is not a Sanskrit scholar, I can't decide on this. But what I can say undeniably, a scholar or not, is that this discovery or this exciting news has generated a lot of interest in Panini in particular and Sanskrit in general. So to understand his rule further, to understand his interpretation further, I went through his thesis, which was published on Cambridge. I can share the link in the description. You can go ahead and check it out yourself. What I have noticed was that he didn't tell us how Panini came to write his Ashtadhyayi. So I'm going to tell you the story, the background story of Panini. Namaste everyone. Welcome back to Zesty Nimbu. This is Sri Rekha. Panini is known as the father of linguistics, and he is the most well-known grammarian from the Sanskrit literature. He has written the Ashtadhyayi, which is a combination of 4000 sutras which has been divided into 8 parts, and that is why the name Ashtadhyayi. Now, who was this Panini? Panini was present during 450 BCE in now what is Lahore, and then it was northwestern Southeast Asia. He studied under a guru from Patliputra, Magadha, Karindepatna called Varasopadhyaya. His co-disciple or co-shishya was Vararuchi or Katyayana. When he was not getting inspiration or when he was not making a lot of progress in his work, his guru suggested that he go to the Himalayas and do penance or tapasya. So Panini goes there, and with the divine grace of Lord Shiva, he gets the chakshu or the eyes to see his Tandava, Shiva Tandava. Imagine this from the perspective of Panini. He is in the Himalayas about to watch the Tandava of Nataraja. He is surrounded by Vishnu, who is playing the Maddalam. Maddalam is a drum. Then Shiva is holding his Damaruka. Brahma is keeping time. They are surrounded by the 4 Sanaka Rishis. Then there was Patanjali and there was Vyagrapada. So this was the audience for the Nataraja Tandava. And once the Tandavam starts and when it ends, final beat produced 14 sounds. The Chapu of the Damaruka of Shiva produced 14 sounds, and there are 14 Vidyas in Vedic literature. And these 14 were called the Mahesvara Sutras. As we know, 14 sounds were produced, and there are 14 Vidya in Vedic lore, in Vedic literature. The 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas and 4 Upangas that we have seen in our Vedas series. You can see the playlist above, as well as I'll link it in the description box below. Do you know what these sounds are? These 14 sounds are
Ayuna, Rudraka, Evom, Ayauj, Hayavarat, Lan, Nyamangananama, Jabhaya, Gadhadash, Jabagadadash, Kapha Chatata Chatatavu, Kapaya, Shashasara, Hala, Iti Maheshwarani Sutrani.
These are the 14 sounds which were produced during the final beat of the Shiva Tandava. So these 14 sounds are also repeated during the Upakarma ceremony, during the Yajnopavitam ceremony. So Panini made an index of these 14 sounds and made letters and syllables, and from this came about the Ashtadhyayi that we know today. There are 4000 sutras divided into 8 parts, and that's why it's Ashtadhyayi. There are other important works. There are actually 9 works on Sanskrit grammar or Nava Vyakarana. That is, Nava is 9. Of this, Panini's Ashtadhyayi is one, Aindram by Lord Indra is another, Rupavatara is another, Bhartrhari's Vakyapadiyam is another, and so on. In fact, Lord Hanuman actually learned all these Vyakarana from sun god. And Sri Rama actually praised him by saying that he is Nava Vyakarana Veda, the one who knows all the 9 works of grammar associated with Sanskrit. We know that Vararuchi or Katyayana wrote a Vartika on Panini's Ashtadhyayi, and Patanjali wrote the Mahabhashya on Panini's Ashtadhyayi. None of the other bhashyas are called as Mahabhashya. Only Patanjali's Mahabhashya or Bhashya on the grammar, on Vyakarana, or Ashtadhyayi of Panini is called Mahabhashya. Why? Because grammar is that important in Vedic literature. Now, the 6 Vedangas are Siksha, Vyakarana, Chanda, Nirukta, Jyotisha and Kalpa. That we have seen in our Vedangas video. You can go ahead and check it out. Vyakarana is called the mouth of the Veda Purusha. Siksha is called the nose of the Veda Purusha. It is called science of language. And when we say science, how can it be related to religion? That is because in Vedic view, anything is related to God. Language gives order, refinement. It gives purity in our everyday life. This leads to the path of liberation and finally to God. There is Atmic upliftment, and that is why this is part of religion. We know Nada Brahman is basically the sound, and that is the highest form of attaining Parabrahma, Paramatma. And Shabda Brahman is speech. So Nada Brahman, when mixed with Shabda Brahman, gives clarity, and Shabda Brahman's essential part is grammar. And when sounds are met with speech, there is a cleansing which happens inwards, and this leads to liberation and to God. And that is why Panini's Ashtadhyayi is as important as a grammar work as it is part of the Vedic religion, because it forms the mouth of the Veda Purusha, the Vyakarana, and it is part of the 14 Chaturdasha Vidya in the Vedas. So this is the background story of Ashtadhyayi. From this video, I hope you have understood why this is such an exciting news, because this has put Panini in spotlight and we can talk more about such great person. So from today, let's learn a little bit of Sanskrit in each of our videos. So the first Sanskrit word of the day is Vyagraha. Vyagraha means tiger. The question of the day is, where is Shiva worshipped as Nataraja in India? And the Rishi of the week is Rishi Vyagrahapada. So let me know. There's a beautiful story connected to Vyagrahapada. So let me know that story in the comment section. So I hope you have liked today's video. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, namaste.